All right, guys, lots going on today. Yesterday was slow and lots whipping around. I'm going to hit on global macro, just what I'm seeing, what kind of moves we made relative to the end of last week, and then what we did in the on the prop team this morning. And then I'll talk about some of the discounts that Top Step has going on. That's one of the Chicago firms that we partnered with for their prop trading, get you guys buying power. It's one of the best groups out there as far as being able to service everybody globally on an independent basis. And so I'll hit on that. And then also just wanted to let you guys know about the Cycle Edge room, kind of what we're doing there. Some of you I'm going to message, you need to get moved over. So the old price was $1,200 a year. It was basically just real-time alerts. All right. And now the new setup, the Cycle Edge 2.0, it's still all the real-time alerts across all our asset classes, multiple durations. But then like today, we were in the live room. So I shared that live trading with the prop group, with the Cycle Edge team. You're getting updates in the morning, analysis, weekends, daily. So just a lot more for 1/10 of the price. So get moved over. I'm going to message you. Hopefully I'll show you where to do that so you can reference this video and I'll attach it, but I'm going to be emailing some of you guys just to get organized. But today was good. We had, here's what I did in prop side. There was a little bit more to do on silver on the short side. I'll come back to that, and just for a teaching point on how to set up on that cycle, that there was a secondary move near term that you could have caught on the short side, but did about 1800, playing S&Ps and the Russell off each other, playing pairs trade on the gold versus silver, and then silver has a higher beta, so that outperformed. Then the options team, this is one of our programs. I won't get into it too much, but it's part of my kind of my economic crisis trading package. Everybody that's wanting to get into markets or is looking to trade options or futures or just getting our entire model, but how we trade a lot of this stuff. I was talking to the team about how we're playing JNUG and the gold miners, what we were doing on Amazon. This was some of our earnings and some of the stuff we were doing on Tesla and Etsy last week, which we had good calls on. So anyway, this is the Cycle Edge 2.0 room. These are just our different trading chat rooms. This is where all the action is. If you guys want to join that, you go to jenkinscm.com. There's a chat room here that you can come in for free. You can download the software. But I'd actually encourage you guys to go to the, just sign up for the membership here, and then I'll get you guys into the room. Again, it's just $250 for the entire year. Most of my competitors that just do real-time alerts are $150, $200 a month. So it's a pretty good deal. All right, let's just get into it. Watching Amazon come back off. So I nibbled this morning. We kind of rallied towards pi. I came out of some long, and then I sold some calls, some upside calls. I think I sold 3,200 strike. Those came off another 30, 40 points. I covered those back, the short calls, and now I'm thinking about selling some downside puts. So this is how we just trade around our core position. Most likely the NASDAQ's coming off as well. Yeah, which it is right now. So tech's been heavy. Meanwhile, the Russell is just stuck on the highs, which is kind of annoying because we've been doing really well and making some good money for the large part the last 3-4 months, being short Russell and then long NASDAQ. And that's kind of had I wouldn't say an unwind, but it's that correlation's kind of moved a little bit the opposite way relative to Friday. I'd say Thursday, Friday, and today. That's fine. That's just a matter of being patient and playing different durations. So kind of like NASDAQ here, that's what I did on Amazon. It's kind of the same couple trades we did on the Qs. Bought some calls this morning. I came out of them. Might increase my long exposure as we speak. But what I wanted to hit on as far as global macro is we had some good calls on the metals as far as we were long 3-4 weeks ago, taking profits along the way. But Friday was definitely another day you should have been booking gains where a lot of people chased. So the call was that maybe we test 30, but we were taking up there. And then now you get a chance to buy back. So the first day on a pullback, 1-day events are kind of rare. Usually the market will move in units of 3, 8, 12, 13. So 2 to 3 day pullback is where I'd rather be interested in silver. I talked about that with the group, the reasons why, like between like 22 and 24. So I went back into the water just mostly I nibbled on the miners via some of our option strategies. JNUG will probably go to the short side of JDST. I don't want to give away all our plays. And then I got back in on gold first. So I kind of like buying gold first, and then if you really get knocked down, I'll get involved in silver at the lower levels. I kind of expected the dollar to have a bigger bounce relative to what precious metals were doing, but it really has. I mean, it's stronger today, but nothing like I kind of expected when I first looked at the chart. So not a huge move in FX. Bonds have been trading like gold. I mean, they're freaking zero coupon pretty much, so they basically are like gold now in some ways. But you have supply this week. You have a 10-year auction tomorrow, a 30-year auction Thursday. So a lot of the dealers will sell. I mean, I ran a rates desk and I covered all the primaries. So when we had an auction, a lot of guys will sell. They got a big inventory. They'll sell the paper, the bonds they have on their books to make room to buy in the auction and take down the Fed's debt. So sometimes you'll sell off and then you'll rally after the auction. So I wouldn't be surprised if we're down another 2-3 days and then maybe the market firms up Thursday, Friday. So the way we're playing this is I was short 30s, having a pretty good day there. And then I've been playing long bonds on dips. Today was the first day. Now I'm back out of the water on long bond, on the ultras, sorry. So we probably played ultras 3 or 4 times on the long side, made money. And then today Friday I bought back against my 30s. With my 30s, I'm more short. So I'm still making money there. And from here, I'll add another lot on ultras, probably down here towards pi. That's a great place to start along. Swing time frame core position trading. And then if you're short 30s, like I was just referencing, then you can cover some more lower, like this level down here is kind of interesting in front of 177 handle. Or if you rally, you're going to reshort. What you covered today, you reshort on a bounce. So we'll be continuing to play that off each other. It's kind of like trading the yield curve, which would be in a flattener out the curve, since the front end is just pancaked to zero. But it's a directional way of legging around the curve. That's kind of it. I mean, big picture in equities, nothing's breaking down. I think still 3,400's in play. And it's just kind of tech is just kind of having it seems like there's a rotation kind of into some of the financials and different sectors and out of the stuff that was doing really, really well. But stocks are still fine. You guys will know when we start to break down and the calls we'll make. Now, if you want to play the opposite side of being aggressive on like Amazon and tech and some of our long names, I mean, we're still long S&Ps. Just because we're short the Russell doesn't mean. I bought more S&Ps this morning, calls, and this 33.55 level is interesting. But you can start to buy the VIX down here. I talked about it in the last week. I covered a lot of my short leg of my calls, which gets me delta more long the VIX. All right, and I think this is setting up the next 2 months. I think vol is setting up to have another fit to the upside. So there's going to be some opportunity here in vol space. And so we're going to trade it around on both sides. I actually have some futures I'm short front month, and then I've been buying VIX calls and longer dated futures out the curve. So we trade both sides of this. We're never just kind of like all one-sided at one point in time, hoping and praying that you got the timing right and not working a position. It's, you don't plunge in at one price. You add and reduce around your positions. Let me just hit on the silver since I mentioned it. the day trade move. So we came in and bought the low initially, like 26.80, pretty close to the dead ass low. And these are big contracts. So we bounced into the bands on the 1 minute. Way back here this morning. Low here, sold into this, and then I sold gold against it, covered gold on the pullback because they were kind of trading together. And then I said, well, I'm not going to go back in on the long side. But the trade was with the 15-minute cycle to actually flip and go short, or just stay with your gold short. But this cycle peaked here, and then you got this is a swing line setup right here. I talk about in our model. Boom, short. I mean, it never looked back. You could have added to it BCI. This was a nice. There's probably three, four, 5 grand here just on a couple contracts short silver today. That's the other thing, guys. If you're long gold, longer term, there's opportunities to hedge that with short silver intraday or intermediate term. Yeah, maybe we can talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. I think that does it. Just to reiterate, guys, you go to jenkinscm.com. I also have courses. Let me just tell you about the courses. So we have a Forex course. I got a Pi Cycle course that I've given away for free right now, $500 value. This is our entire institutional model. We built and traded real size, 63, 80 billion a year in trading volume and size, and took real risk for a firm and for ourselves and for other big institutions, buy side, sell side. So that whole model is a 9-hour course. I sell it for $2 grand. It probably should be 10 grand. The options course, that's $2,500 value. All my courses together is close to 6 grand usually. And I've been running ever since the world blew up. You get our options program, all right, which includes the team. You get my time on working with you on all the different, like talking about realized vol, implied vol. Our prop team, which we trade together. Again, I help you work through some of the, get you guys funded and work with Top Step here. There's several options, but you guys can get up to trading 15 contracts with $150,000 in buying power for as little as $339 a month. I mean, there's so many shops, guys, that will charge you that just in fees, like data fees, and they're not going to give you any buying power. You have to show up with 30 grand for them to match 30 grand. You're at 60 grand. You can maybe trade 5 contracts and they're going to be all over you. This is one of the best ways. You don't want to, I mean, if you're going to start trading futures, you don't need to blow up a $50,000 account. Why don't you spend 6 months? You invest in yourself. It's a business expense, $1,800 instead of blowing up on 60 grand or 100 grand. And then you got the opportunity to trade real size. So we've been working through guys and helping them get funded. Here's an example. With the $150,000 account, you got to get 9 grand. We help people do that in as little as 5 days. So the key is in the consistency and having a model and a process. I'm all over the place. So you go to Jenkins CM. Oh, so if you click get access here underneath the trading program, that's going to be all those courses I just showed you. It's probably close to 9,000, 10,000 in value. I'm doing it at 1,500 right now. So you don't have any excuse not to invest in yourself. These are skills that you can have for your entire lifetime. Trade the markets, any market, Forex, options, commodities, futures, bonds. You can apply the model to so many different things. I mean, you'll learn a ton. It's so well worth it. And then that includes my time because you're going to be with us on the prop team. So that's where you got the opportunity to coaching, trade together, take real risks together. So guys, just do that. Now. I said to the end of July, but I'm kind of just trying to, I get so busy doing other things. I want to keep giving people the opportunity that maybe haven't heard our stuff. All right. That's all I had. Yeah, good stuff. All right, we'll talk to some of you guys in the morning.